There's a whole bunch of things that I forgot to say. These strategies and plans, there should be a link between here and here. Yeah? There should be a link between this and this. You'll be so surprised to find out that sometimes your business people will be working on initiatives. You don't know why. Yeah? You don't know what strategy it fits into. Yeah? So, you know, obviously you're not going to say you do not have a strategy for this particular initiative or plan that's going to cost you 20,000 or 25, and you know, you're going to stay away from that conversation. However, you're going to keep this in the back of your mind and say this great idea that they have is not supported by a company strategy or a plan behind it. Yeah. So there should be a clear link between strategies and projects. Sometimes there are strategies that the company has which are, you know, just strange strategies that have always been there, but nobody knows what to do with them. Yeah? For example, sustainability strategies. Yeah? Everyone, ooh, it's sustainable. Oh, good. What does that mean? Don't worry, it fits in with the sustainability strategy. And so sometimes it's very difficult to actually pin down what a strategy is and what it looks like and what the impact or consequences of it are. And sometimes this results in initiatives where you're going, what's this for? Yeah. So this link is sometimes a very clear one. Another important thing is that you will never hear anybody say the following: we will create a promotion for our younger target set in order to fit with our marketing strategy for creating a new customer segmentation. You will never hear this. A business person will never say, I plan to do these things in order to achieve these goals. They will never say, this is my goal, and in order to achieve these goals, I'm going to do these following things. Yeah? This is not natural. What you hear is a sound bite. You hear, this is our strategy. They will say, this is one of our plans, or this is one of our projects on the table at the moment. You never hear these two things in combination. So your job, yeah, is to create that link afterwards. Creating this link is a great way of demonstrating credibility later on in the process. You collect and you absorb a lot of strategies and projects from different people in different places, and then you bring it all together and you try and make sense of it according to this system. These are the strategies. There are 2, 3, or 4 specific strategies. These are the initiatives and projects. There are 50. Yeah? And this is how or my thinking at the moment is to divide them into different strategies, and this is how they fit in or don't. Yeah? Luigi, do you have unlimited budget? All of these are good ideas. Do you have enough money to pay for all of them?
No. No way.
No way, right? How much money do you have? Do you have enough money to pay for any of them? Hopefully. But here's the question. What happens next?
Priority.
It gets prioritized. And maybe the most important job of the IT demand manager, or maybe the goal within our first step of understanding the sponsor's business, is once we have identified what initiatives and projects they're working on and what the underlying strategy is, what's the priority? And that's why we need to understand not just the product that we're interested in, but the overall scope of the project itself, because we need to understand what these things are going to cost and how that fits in with their level of priority. Yeah? And so this prioritization process is a critical one for us and for them. It's possible, not likely, but it's possible that they also don't have a clear idea of this. But what is very, very possible is that they do not know how much this will cost them. They're in marketing. I would suggest that today A marketing executive will have an absolutely clear vision of what a general promotion strategy would cost them. Yeah, but expenses into social media, I would even say today that most marketing people do not have a clear conception of what a social media initiative would actually cost them in order to put one promo on the table. Yeah, I'd really say quite honestly that I don't know many marketing people who could give you a clear number for a target of 5,000 people. Yeah, if you ask them to tell you how much a promo for 5,000 people would cost regarding leafleting, information on the website, and the discussions, they'll give you a number. Yeah, but if you ask them for their knowledge of the social media aspect, they would go, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they would have it, maybe not. And I think generally speaking, in all of these situations, the IT thing is always changing. Yeah. Another thing is this. You're going to choose the finance director. Yeah. You guys, who are you going to choose? You can have sales and marketing.
Sales.
You have sales. Yeah. You guys can have medical. Yeah, just to make it interesting. As the CFO, so you're going to be focused on the CFO. How much has your job changed over the past 10 years? It hasn't. How much has your job fundamentally changed over the last 50 years? I don't know. Okay, I am not a finance person, so I am not qualified to say how much the job of a finance person has changed over the past however many years. But I would suggest that it hasn't really fundamentally changed that much. Yeah?
Maybe comparing to marketing or...
Maybe, comparing to sales, that's an interesting one. You know, finance people, at least their knowledge of processes and technologies has to be pretty well advanced, right? For salespeople, your job has never changed. Yeah? You are the second most oldest profession in the world. Right? And this profession has not changed since the beginning of time. You sell.
In the first.
Yeah? And so the job role, it hasn't changed. Now, if you tell a salesperson this, they will say, oh, no, we're completely different to the way that we were. And it's not true. The fundamental position of the job role is still the same that it always was. Medical. Your job is medical knowledge. And the clarity and cleanliness and integrity of medical knowledge. And you're actually the only two people in this, you're the only people within this constellation who would say our job is not meant to change. Right? The profile or mission of our job is absolutely crystal clear. We provide ethical medical knowledge to our doctors and physicians, for example, or whatever it happens to go in. Yeah? So, it's a changing world. Yes, but. Yeah? It's only changing because people think that they should change a lot of the time. It's only changing because a lot of the functions that we deal with think. Now, if you look at the IT role, how much has the IT role changed?
A lot.
It changes fundamentally every year. Yeah, it has changed. Fundamental change, year in, year out. Yeah, the IT role actually does change, but we don't care about that because nobody cares about us. Nobody cares about the fact that our role fundamentally changes all the time. On the other side, we don't need to worry too much about becoming expert within a changing financial environment or sales environment or medical environment, because the function itself is a very clearly defined function, and the roles of that function are not going to change dramatically through their usage of IT. Not yet. There are some things which will have a big impact, but not yet. their understanding of IT will always be here, yeah? However interested they are in technology, and you do get some very interested people, yeah? And that's fine, that's good for us, because it gives us a great level of possibility to discuss about technology. But at the end of the day, understanding the business impact of IT on their organization is something that they cannot be expected to do, yeah? And so this clarity of making that clear to them is sometimes a very big way of getting into their meetings on a regular basis, yeah, and of creating the credibility that goes behind it. So, exercise, finance, sales and marketing, or sales, just sales, and medical. Please make assumptions about what this function's strategies and plans are, and some of the initiatives and projects that are currently on their list of to-dos.